that is subtopic 3.4 Beyond the Four Varnas Integration. Given the identity of the subcontinent, there were and always have been populations whose social practices were not influenced by Brahminical ideas. When they figure in Sanskrit text, they are often described as odd, uncivilized, or even animal like. In some instances, these included forest dwellers for whom hunting and gathering remained an important means of subsistence. Categories such as the Nishad, to which Eklavya is supposed to have belonged, are examples of these. Others who are viewed with suspicion include populations such as nomadic pastoralists who could not be easily accommodated within the framework of settled agriculturists. Sometimes those who spoke non-Sanskritic language were labeled as Malikshas and looked down upon. There were nonetheless also sharing of ideas and beliefs between these people. The nature of relation is evident in some stories in the Mahabharata. So now what this paragraph means, that beyond the four varnas. Beyond the four varnas means these four varnas were made by the Brahmins, and they were taken these four varnas. Four varnas means the society of the Vedic society, you can say. The Vedic society was divided into four groups, and these four groups were first in the early Vedic time. They were related according to the profession or occupation of the person. But when it came to the later Vedic period, then it became very rigid, and then it took the form of casteism. So during the early Vedic time, the society was divided into four groups which were considered as varnas, and the people the people who were belonging to the Vedic society, they were categorized into four varnas according to their occupation or profession they have selected and chosen for earning their livelihood. And it was flexible, and person can choose their profession according to their skills and according to their wishes. But now there were people also who were not included in the society of the Aryans, and these people were those who were living very far away from the society of the Aryans. Like you can say, those who were not living in the villages, or who were not having any contact with the people who were living in the villages. So they were ignorant of the Vedic society, and so they were not included in the society of the Varna system. Like for example, those who were living in the forested areas, and these people who were living in the forested area, they were ignorant about the Sanskrit text. They were ignorant about the Vedic system of and the society prevailing in the Vedic time. That is the society that was framed by the Brahmins. So these people who were ignorant, they were considered as uncivilized people, because they were ignorant about the civilized society that was prevailing at that time. And they were also behaving like animals, because they were forest dwellers. So mostly their attitude and everything was related to like animals. Like they used to hunt the animals, and also they used to gather, means they were still in the practice of hunting and gathering for sustaining their life. So they were considered as uncivilized, and also they were considered as out means outcast, in the sense that they were not belonging to the society of the uh, Aryans, and they were not included in any of the four Varnas. So they were also known as, they have been given a name by the Brahmins as Nishat, means those people who were forest dwellers, but they were not coming in the society of Varnas. Then there were people whose occupation was somewhat different from the people, from the occupation of the people who were in the society. um, like for example, nomads who were always wandering and who were not living a settled life, and so their identity cannot be traced out. So pastoralists and these nomadic pastoralists, they were always seen with suspicion because they were not belonging to the society, as they were always wandering about, they were not living a settled life. And then the third were the foreign people who have invaded India and who have settled down in India. They have established their empire, but they were not having the knowledge of the Sanskrit text, and also about the society of the Brahmins, that is four Varnas. So they were considered as Malikshas. But all these people, even though they were not belonging to the society that was made by the Brahmins, they were still living in India, and they were also the, you can say, they were also made as the part of the society. Means even though they were not belonging to any of these four Varnas, but because they were there, so they were included in the society. So and they were they were having their roles, and they were sharing some of the ideas and beliefs, and this can be easily traced out in some of the stories which are contained in Mahabharata. So this is a script from Mahabharata, in which while during the Agyatwas, when the Pandavas were along with their mother Kunti, they were wandering in the forested area. Uh, a man-eating, you can say, tribals, they saw them and they wanted to eat them up. So they came across these man-eating tribal societies, and at that time, man-eating tribal societies, they were known as Rakshasas. So they came across these society, and so you can say, the Hidimba, who was also belonging to this society, his brother wanted to kill Bhim. Bhim and that Hidimba brother had a great fight, in which Bhim killed the Hidimba's brother. Hidimba fell in love with Bhim, and she wanted to marry him. But as Kunti was afraid, because she still belonged to that tribal society who were man-eating society, so he gave permission. But she also said that they can meet during the daytime and not during the night. Hidimba gave birth to a baby boy who was known as Ghatotach, and then she left with her son. So it shows, this story tells that there were tribal communities who were means still uncivilized and barbarous, because they did not like any intruder to come in the forest, and if anyone tries to intrude, then they used to kill them. So but they were the part of the society because they were living at that time. uh, so I'm just going to read this. This is a summary of a story from Adi Parvan of the Mahabharata. The Pandavas had fled into the forest. They were tired and fell asleep. Only Bhima, the second Pandava, renowned for his prowess, was keeping watch. A man eating Rakshasa. So those tribal communities who were eating the flesh of man, they were known as Rakshas. Caught the scent of the Pandavas and sent his sister Hidimba to capture them. She fell in love with Bhima, transformed herself into a lovely maiden, and proposed to him. He refused. Meanwhile, the Rakshas arrived and challenged Bhima to a wrestling match. Bhima accepted the challenge and killed him. The others woke up hearing the noise. Hidimba introduced herself and declared her love for Bhima. She told Kunti, I have forsaken my friends, my dharma, and my kin. Kin means its family, and good lady, chosen your tiger like son for my man. Whether you think me a fool or your devoted servant, let me join you, great lady, with your son as my husband. Ultimately, Yudhishthira agreed to the marriage on the condition that they would spend the day together, but that Bhim would return every night. The couple roamed all over the world during the day. In due course, Hidimba gave birth to a Rakshas boy named Ghatotkacha. Then the mother and son left the Pandavas. Ghatotkacha promised to return to the Pandavas whenever they needed him. Some historians suggest that the term Rakshas is used to describe people whose practices differed from those laid down in Brahminical text. Okay, so this much for this.